The Galactic Council had made one critical miscalculation. They thought humans scared easily. Melissa Chen stood in the cargo bay of the Frontier's Edge, checking the plasma couplings on her exosuit when the proximity alarm shrieked. She didn't flinch. 3 years on the outer rim had taught her that panic was just wasted energy. "Contact at Airlock 3, the ship's AI announced in its maddeningly calm tone. "Boarding party detected, species Kravex. Threat level extreme." "Of course it's Kravex," Melissa muttered, sealing the last connection on her suit. The reptilian raiders were known throughout 6 sectors for their brutality, and their particular fondness for testing their prey's fear response before the kill. They called it the culling of the weak. The airlock hissed open and 4 Kravex warriors stormed in, their scaled bodies gleaming under the harsh lighting. Their leader, a massive specimen with ceremonial scars running down his snout, fixed his yellow eyes on Melissa. "Human," he hissed, his translator unit making his voice sound like grinding metal. "You stand alone. Your crew has abandoned you. Surrender, and your death will be swift." Melissa finished calibrating her wrist display without looking up. "Sorry, didn't catch that." Was doing actual work. The Kravex leader's crest flared, a sign of confusion. Humans were supposed to cower. Their intelligence reports had been clear. Humans were soft, emotional creatures who broke easily under pressure. "You do not understand your situation," he snarled, pulling a plasma grenade from his belt. The device hummed ominously, its surface already beginning to glow. "This is a Class 7 explosive. I will throw it near you. You will feel fear. You will beg." He tossed the grenade. It bounced once on the metal deck and rolled toward Melissa. She glanced down at it, then back at the Kravex leader. Without breaking eye contact, she kicked the grenade back toward him with her boot. It rolled to a stop at his clawed feet. "Nice try," she said flatly. For a moment, the cargo bay was silent except for the grenade's escalating whine. The Kravex leader stared at the device, then at Melissa. His translator struggling to process the situation. His warrior shuffled backward. You did not run," he stammered. "Why would I? It's set to proximity detonation, not contact. Needs to be within 2 meters of a heat signature for at least 3 seconds before it arms." Melissa crossed her arms. "Also, you're holding it wrong. Safety's still engaged. See the green light?" The Kravex leader looked down. The grenade's indicator was indeed still green, but you could not have known. Chapter 7 of the Galactic Ordnance Manual, subsection 12. "I actually read the briefings." Melissa took a step forward. "Here's what's going to happen. You're going to take your little scare tactic and leave my ship, or I can show you what humans do when we're actually trying to be frightening." The warrior to the leader's left made a threatening gesture, raising his plasma rifle. Melissa moved. Her exosuit amplified her speed, but the real weapon was her training. She crossed the distance in 3 strides, caught the rifle barrel and redirected it toward the ceiling. The startled Kravex fired, sending a bolt of superheated plasma into the overhead lighting. Sparks rained down. In the flickering darkness, Melissa struck. Her armored elbow caught the warrior in his throat scales, the one vulnerable spot on a Kravex. He went down gasping. She spun, grabbing the falling rifle, and leveled it at the leader. "New plan," she said, her voice echoing in the damaged bay. "You're going to tell me why Kravex raiders are this far into human-protected space. Then you're going to leave. Then you're going to spread a message." The leader's crest was flat against his skull now, a sign of submission. "What message?" "That humans don't scare. We don't break. And we don't forget." Behind her, the cargo bay's secondary doors hissed open. William Torres stepped through, his combat armor fully engaged, weapon systems hot. He'd been monitoring from the bridge, waiting to see if Melissa needed backup. She didn't. "You okay?" William asked, though his tone suggested he already knew the answer. "Fine. Our friends here were just leaving." Melissa kept the rifle trained on the Kravex. "Weren't you?" The leader nodded slowly, his warrior pride utterly shattered. In 300 raids across a dozen species, he had never encountered anything like this. The humans weren't fearless. Fear was rational, useful. They were something worse. They were competent, controlled, and completely unimpressed by theatrical intimidation. We withdraw," he managed, gesturing to his warriors. They collected their injured comrade and backed toward the airlock. As the leader reached the threshold, he paused. "The council will hear of this. They will send more." "Good," Melissa replied. "Send a lot more. We'll be here." The airlock sealed, and the Kravex ship disengaged with a thud that reverberated through the hull. William walked over, shaking his head. You know, most people would have at least pretended to be worried about the grenade. Melissa shrugged, powering down her exosuit. Where's the fun in that? Besides, we've got a reputation to maintain. FY? William asked with a grin. Damn right. Across the galaxy, the story would spread, whispered in trading posts, debated in military academies, analyzed by xenopsychologists. The species that looked soft but refused to break. The humans who kicked grenades back at their attackers and said, nice try. The Galactic Council would indeed send more ships, more warriors, more tests, and humanity would be waiting, unimpressed and utterly prepared. Because that's what humans did best. They adapted, they learned, and they never, ever backed down. Not bad for a species the galaxy had once called emotionally fragile.